Greetings, my name is Monty Martin, and welcome to Drakkenheim once again. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running the game as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Cogsworth B. Copperpot, the Gnome Divination Wizard. And we're joined today by our good friends
Jill Denitis playing Nimble Quill, the Conjuration Wizard Tabaxi.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Rufus Stonewall, the Abjuration Wizard.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, we are the Dungeon Dudes. We post videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. You can check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us live on Tuesdays when we record the campaign live on Twitch. Check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube.
And for those of you that are wondering what is going on here tonight and today on this episode, in light of the current global situation, we are not able to play together in person. So we are playing together online. And as a group, we have actually never played Dungeons & Dragons together online before. Some of us have some experience playing online, but we haven't done it together as a group. And rather than take Shadows of Drakkenheim immediately into an online environment before we have neither worked out the kinks of playing online nor the technical things of streaming online as we're doing that, we felt that we're going to put Shadows of Drakkenheim on a little bit of a break while this whole thing, both globally and technically for us, is all working out. So, to that end, we would like to welcome you for the very first time to the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim. This will be a series of very short 1 or 2 or maybe 3 shot, depending on how long they each individually go, mini campaigns where we will be exploring the events of Dungeons of Drakkenheim from the point of view of characters of the 5 factions of Drakkenheim: the Amethyst Academy, the Hooded Lanterns, the Followers of the Falling Fire, the Silver Order, and the Queen's Men. Each mini-series will follow a new party of adventurers at some point in time in the original Drakkenheim adventures. These will not necessarily be in chronological order at all. So tonight's events and a few weeks when we jump in with the Queen's Men or the Hooded Lanterns will be occurring at different points in time. We might have the original Drakkenforce making some cameos during this period, but for the most part, we will be following the adventures that happen kind of off to the side. This is a way for me to explore some of the locations that didn't make it into the main campaign, and also for us to get some practice both streaming an online game and playing Dungeons & Dragons online, which we have, as I said, we have never done at all before. We are also taking this opportunity to really play around with some very quirky characters. As you can see, we've got a very interesting party of adventurers here. So to introduce this evening's little bit of play, for those of you that have watched Dungeons of Drakkenheim, these I can tell you that the episodes that you will be watching, or at least the little bit that you're going to be seeing tonight, occurs a little bit around episode 40 of the main show. So if you have watched about that far, if you haven't watched that far yet, there might be quasi spoilers, but if you haven't watched after that, you're going to be kind of okay. This will give you a behind the scenes glimpse of certain things though, so you never know exactly what might be coming up here. So as long as you, if you're worried about spoilers and you haven't really watched between episodes 35 and 40 yet, yeah, there's going to be some spoilers for you here tonight, so just a fair warning. But if you haven't finished from like if you're on episode 45 or 50, there's going to be probably very few spoilers, if at all, happen in what you see from here on. So I hope that makes sense. Our spoiler warning out of the way. Let us go into the introductions of who we are going to be visiting tonight. So we go now to the recently claimed tower of the Amethyst Academy. This fantastic tower, the tallest building in Drakkenheim, rivaled only by the spires of Castle Draken, stands as an enigma amidst the ruins of Drakkenheim. For this grand tower, hundreds of feet tall, made of a strange obsidian-like glass on the outside, has been broken halfway up, a piece where the meteor broke off as it fell upon the city, collided through the tower, yet the top part of the tower still stands in defiance of gravity itself. Yet now the tower, long abandoned and filled with cursed individuals and taken up by a malevolent mage by the name of Oscar Yoren, has now been reclaimed thanks to the efforts of Sebastian, Veo, and Peludo. Those heroes, though, this is not the story of those three heroes who have reclaimed the tower. For as they now go on to further adventures and their battles against the Queen of Thieves and the efforts to reclaim Castle Draken, there are far more secrets in the Tower of the Amethyst Academy than those three heroes could ever explore, and for good reason. For the Amethyst Academy knows that to truly control this valuable asset, they will need to send their own to reclaim all the secrets that they could not even allow Veo, Sebastian, and Peludo to get their eyes upon. We now go to the teleportation chambers in the Tower of the Amethyst Academy, where Eldrick Runeweaver, Grand Master Wizard of the Amethyst Academy, along with his longtime apprentice, River, stand awaiting the next group of reinforcements to come from far away lands to help them fully reclaim the towers of the Amethyst Academy. Eldrick strokes his square beard and incants around his staff, looking across at the wide-eyed apprentices and River as they focus their energies, harnessing around the teleportation circle to bring in the next mage from far-off lands. The energies coalesce. Power thrums through the chamber as suddenly the forms of three individuals begin to appear with crackling lightning and energy and a thrum of thunder as they appear through the portal by the teleportation circle. Three purple-robed mages, their wands at the ready, stand before Eldrick and River and the wide-eyed apprentices. And Eldrick says, "Greetings! I see that you've all made the journey safely." He turns first. "Rufus Stonewall, how are you? I hope you have made the journey well."
I have a splitting headache. This is ridiculous. You couldn't send for a easier. This teleportation circle looks like it's been upkept by a goblin.
"Well, we're doing our very best," says Eldrick. "Tell us, what does Rufus look like? And tell us about Rufus, the Abjuration Wizard. And hopefully you can also hear us while I do this, because here is our artwork for Rufus.
Rufus is a grumpy old man with a stern look on his face. He's wearing amethyst purple robes. He carries a wand, and he has a quarterstaff that he does keep close by as kind of a semi-walking stick. Rufus just doesn't want to be here, and he doesn't want to be anywhere. He wants to be relaxing somewhere with someone reading a book to him about magic. And now he's getting roped into this quasi sort of like team thing. He's supposed to be retired in 2 weeks, and now they've got him running off to Drakkenheim. He has this long white beard, and he's usually has like this shimmer of purple, of almost like a shieldy glow that kind of fades in and out of existence around him and around these little circles from his constant casting of abjuration magic. He's always kind of at the ready.
Eldrick speaks. Rufus, my longtime friend, as a fellow wizard of abjuration, it has been some time. You must know, needing someone of your expertise and experience to help defend and protect this place, so precariously held. We need you so badly here.
I was having such a great time, Eldrick. I was so close to my final trip. I must have told you, my trip to the Feywild. I was going to relax and paint, and now you've got me strumming around. This place is a mess. It's dirty. I could see outside. There's no walls. Half the walls are missing. I am a man of comfort. I have earned my keep in the academy.
Yes, well, I didn't want to let you know about this, but we know that you've planned your retirement for some time to traverse to the Feywild and spend the rest of your days there.
Ah, yes.
But
the Feywild.
The issue, of course, and part of the reason why we've asked you to come along is that, well, the Academy only has one tuning fork attuned to the Feywild, you understand? And it's here, in this tower.
What?
Well, in order for us to transition you to the Feywild, we would need a tuning fork, and the Academy's only tuning fork is, well, lost in this tower.
How long have you known about this, Eldrick?
At least 15 years.
You have got to be kidding me. This is outrageous. This is egregious. The archmages will hear about this.
Well, the archmages already know. We figured that they would need some leverage over you to get your help in this occasion, so they thought it quite convenient, actually.
Even Tinfuddle?
It was Tinfuddle's suggestion. It would be why you were suggested as one of the mages. You've got motivated rationales to come and help.
Mark my words, Eldrick. As soon as I retrieve that tuning fork, I will be leaving this dank and dusty hellhole. I have no reason to be in Drakkenheim. A crater, if you would be so bold to call it that, is all it is at best.
Well, crater though it may be, there still remain some of the greatest secrets and treasures of the Academy left in this tower, that tuning fork amongst them.
You'll see me retrieve it, and I will bring it back to you, Eldrick, but then, only then, will I put on my bathing suit and relax in the great Feywild.
Next up, Eldrick bows and says, well, we appreciate you. Of course, there are others of great experience who have seen to extend their careers long past retirement. Cogsworth B. Copperpot. We're so glad to have one of your ancient expertise amongst us here.
Oh, yes, Eldrick. Sorry, it's been a few years. Which tower am I in right now? Is this the Sky? I used to teach at the Sky Tower. This looks familiar. I remember that rubble. Is that my rubble?
No. Cogsworth, this is the Drakkenheim Tower. You remember we just discussed with Sending.
Was that earlier today? Or was that last year?
We
a month
just
ago.
teleported you here, Cogsworth.
Oh, goodness, sorry, must be the divination magic again. I get a little confused. I'm always in the future, or is it the past?
This was your idea, Cogsworth. You said that you
Right.
needed to come here.
I am studying all of the arcane towers located throughout the world. I have made it to 72 of them so far, but never Drakkenheim. And I said, Cogsworth, if you live your whole life and never see that Drakkenheim tower, then you will never know all the secrets of the Academy. And it's my job as the lead divination wizard of the Amethyst Academy, the most renowned, most famous, and most knowledgeable, to know everything. So I am here to learn secrets and lore of this tower. That's the mission, right? The mission is to make me know more about magic by being here. I've signed up.
Oh, well, we were hoping that with your expertise in divination magic, you would be able to find what problems still exist through the tower for us to solve.
I sense much danger and death within this. Wait, no, sorry, that was last week. This place was dangerous. Seems fine. I'll poke around.
Well, Cogsworth, tell us what you've brought with you, and let's tell us what Cogsworth looks like.
So Cogsworth is about a little over 3 feet tall. He is over 900 years old for reasons that nobody can explain. And it looks like he's been wearing the same Amethyst Academy robes for those 900 years. They're stitched together. There's patchwork all over them. Slung on his back is a little glass orb with his familiar inside, Archibald the Octopus. And he carries a short little staff, and his spellbook seems to be a bunch of crumpled up notes that are sticking out of various pockets in his cloak. And his beard drags along the ground. His nose is almost as big as his head. And he has a huge mustache that comes out from underneath the nose as well. You can't really see his eyes or his mouth anywhere. It just looks like a nose and a bunch of tufts of hair. And yeah, so he's just walking around kind of examining things, and he keeps pointing at things and going, oh my, I've seen this in the future, and he's just mumbling. It seems that he doesn't really quite know what time period he's in right now.
Perfect.
We are glad to have you. I hope that your divinations reveal great success in our missions here. We will absolutely need your expertise as we improve the situation in the days ahead. Finally,
Eldrick, my divination is never wrong. Never.
Thank you. Very good. Now, our youngest volunteer, the Nimble Quill. So good to have you along this way. Were it not for your expertise, certainly we would not have been able to get the teleportation circle this secure going through. Excellent work.
Thank you. I mean, I'm here because I know there's great promise of me succeeding your position one day, and I look forward to learning from all the secrets, so that way it can be sooner than later. But you know, I was really kind of worried that if I didn't help with this teleportation circle, I've heard some really weird rumors of what happens to people when it doesn't work quite right. So I'm really glad that we didn't explode on our way here.
I am as well. You've done excellent work, and we expect that there will be erratic planar formations all throughout the tower that will require a conjurer of your expertise to fully and completely examine. There were unforeseen rifts in the great battle at the Nexus along the top, and we suspect there may be all manner of demons and extraplanar creatures from realms beyond roaming through these halls, and if you can do what you can to summon them or contain them in some way, we would very much like to know if you could bind them or control them or bind them to your will. Be very excellent to keep them in as specimens.
I mean, with a tabaxi of my skill, of course. You know, people at my level, they can do all sorts of amazing things. and I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm ready to take on this responsibility because I can't just leave it to the old guys here. The new up-and-coming folks, they got this. They got this.
And so, can you describe Quill for us?
So Nimble Quill his name's actually Quill Nimble, but everybody calls him Nimble Quill. He is a shorter, interesting tabaxi. If his cloak was green, he would look like a Christmas tree. He has some wild style, but he very much, volunteered to come into the tower because he wants to find something interesting or forgotten that is going to skyrocket his career, his success in the academy. And he only imagines like the wonders that the academy tower will hold that he'll find, and he'll be praised so highly by the archmages that he aims to become an archmage himself one day. Yeah. Incredible.
So, with our merry band of wizards, we will. Eldrick continues and says, "Fantastic. I could not have asked. Well, I did ask for a fantastic bunch of wizards, and I am pleased to say that I am very, very, very pleased to have had your assistance in these matters ahead. The situation is quite delicate, as you know. You've received my briefings about the events and how, well, the difficult thing is that it was Sebastian Crow and his compatriots that cleared this tower originally. The situation initially demanded ones of more reckless disposability, but now we need a little bit more delicate expertise to properly assess the damage to the tower and make sure that what manner of creatures and dangers might still be lurking are properly and wholly dealt with before the tower continues its normal operations.
Well, if delicacy is what you're looking for, and then I spill all of my notes everywhere and start scrambling to pick them up.
What I think you're looking for is a little bit of nimbleness.
Much indeed. Well, I must tell you, the situation is still not all that well. As we know, Quill has been able to determine that the teleportation matrix is off. We've had several bands of apprentices teleported here as nothing more than gibbering piles of goop. Very regrettable. Will best not to tell their families. And we've seen wild magic, all types of strange conjurations, and of course, more delirium surrounds the outsides of these towers now than we ever thought possible. We still don't know why the upper reaches of the tower still haven't collapsed utterly and completely. But all things in due time. It is of utmost importance that we bring our facilities back up to their operational state. Therefore, myself and River have made sure that the deep chambers below, where some of the most dangerous creatures are kept, have remained secure, and for this time we have not seen the need to open them. But the laboratories, the summoning chambers, the alchemy labs, all of these things still contain their untold treasures. It seems that our band of heroes, led by Sebastian, Veo, and Peludo, they used the library to advance all the way up the tower. It seems that was the most effective way for them to get to the closest reaches. This is all very well and good, for there are things that I am concerned that had they uncovered those, the situation might been turned out quite a bit worse. We also suspect that the former mage Oscar Yoren, who has now been reported killed, may have left other undead monstrosities roaming the halls as well.
I mean, you're thinking just monstrosities, or maybe some of his own potions or magic, something like big and powerful that we could use. That
was what we were hoping that Cogsworth Copperpot might be able to determine.
Yes. I sense much magic in this place. As a matter of fact, I have put together a clue. You say you don't know why the top of the tower floats, but I think I've figured it out. Eldrick, it's magic.
Of course, but what kind of magic? That's what we don't quite know. Is it still a product of the old matrices of the Archmage? Are those still holding the old wards? We're not sure. That's why we needed Rufus. Your expertise in warding magic and abjuration can certainly determine which wards can be undone and which ones cannot be. That's why we needed you so badly, old chap.
What a mess. This seems to be in chaos and ruins. Can we blame those three, what did you call them? Disposables for the mess left? The elevators are in shambles. The walls are falling apart.
Almost certainly. It is regrettable that they made their way up the library side. Fortunately, though, there were no errant fireballs in the process. It seems that, for the most part, any of the books that were damaged by the initial explosion and the initial crack, not any of their handiwork, so to speak. You must understand that we had no sense of what was here. We still don't quite know what might be going on in these towers, but nevertheless, we think that the situation will be stable thanks to your efforts. And this is why we think the best place for us to begin, for you to begin specifically, would be through the old laboratories and classrooms. Are you up for it?
Reluctantly, yes. However, I hope we move quickly. My margaritas are getting warm.
I will give a strong and heartfelt exquisitely yes. I'm here to uncover the mysteries of the universe.
I'm definitely with Copperbot on this one. This is going to be an exciting adventure. We're going to find some beautiful magical things, and you know what? If we happen to come across some things and fireball them in the way, then who knows, you know?
You are authorized to use whatever means necessary, whatever spell you deem needed, whatever magic's necessary to undertake this mission. This said, be aware that the recovery of any research of the old mages, any works or artifacts of a magical nature, and the capture and preservation where possible of any creatures that have been twisted by the delirium is certainly of utmost interest to us for our ongoing studies. But this is why we must begin with the laboratories and summoning chambers. Once those are secured, we can actually begin using them for our ongoing work.
Now, we're the first Academy members to go up there since these three hooligans have been there, right?
Yes, that is true.
So there'll be lots of treasure and things to find. Okay.
Now, of course, as members of the Academy, we will allow you, of course, to make the first pass on any objects or artifacts that you might find that might aid you in the short term, but they must be turned over back to the Academy as part of your guild dues once you are complete.
Fair.
Very well. Is there anything else I can provide you with before you are ready to begin these cleanup operations?
Well, I think I have everything I need. I start rifling through my bag. I'm like, yes, all the spell components are here. Are you two as excited as I am to uncover the mysteries of this tower?
Very excited. Very excited to find all the amazing treasures.
I pat Quill on the head. I'm like, you're such a good little apprentice. And then I turn to Rufus and I go, I'm going to miss her.
What do you mean? And I'm a boy, by the way. I'm a boy.
I'm going to miss him. It's hard to tell with cats. I
you get a good look?
apologize.
Cogsworth, your glasses aren't big enough.
I'm not wearing
You seem
any
to have trouble
glasses.
seeing what's right in front of you.
Now,
Where did...
the other one other thing. The remains of Archmage Modera were located by Sebastian Veo and Paludo and have been interred, as well as her staff of power. We have also found the rod of the librarian of Borges. However, one of the other important individuals we do not know the fate of, and their staff is another important tool in securing this tower. Grandmaster Provost Nestor. Their staff may be lost in the alchemical labs. They were amongst one of the foremost researchers at the time, and if you can find what became of them, that might be certainly helpful for our efforts.
Interesting. I think we can do it. What do you think? Can you see into the future, Cobblepot? See if we can find the stuff?
I foresee great disaster befalling Drakkenheim.
Well, I mean, I think there's already been
Yeah,
a disaster.
you're a little late on
Befallen.
this one, Cogsworth.
I'm sorry. Maybe more disasters coming. We'll find out.
Right.
Look, we have a mission, and I need you two to stay close. We're going to find that tuning fork, and we're going to get me to my retirement. I'm going to put these wards back in place, and we're not going to skip a beat. No messing around. No sniffing down dark alleys. Eldrick told us what we need to do, and we need to do it.
Now listen here, young man. I have forgotten more spells than you've ever learned, so you're going to show me some respect.
Look, Copperpot, you have predicted many things, but you're not going to be able to predict my boot up your ass. Now, we're going to stay on it, and we're going to get to work. You can keep looking into the future, but we need to see what's right in front of us. That is how to get this tower back in order.
Very well. Well, I will direct you to the main elevators. Some of them appear to be operational. You may need some other means of going forward. But if you are ready to begin, you may, of course, retreat back here. We have secured these lower levels, and we will... And so if there are any problems, and if you do need to return back to this area, you can. Furthermore, Eldrick produces a small container from his bag of holding, and he says, I have made sure to procure several supplies for you all, passing you each 3 potions of greater healing, as well as 2 of the Aqua Delirium potions as well.
2?
Yeah, 2 each. Finally.
Each? Oh, wow.
Finally.
Ooh.
He says, I understand that it has been difficult and risky to bring other guardians in to protect all of us. But we do have this. And he offers, he produces from his bag a solid, a solid stone that is glowing with green energy. He says, this stone was found earlier. It contains the essence of an earth elemental. If you crack it, you will have it under its command for only about an hour. So if there are any dangers and you do need a guardian, you may use this.
My hand starts sneaking towards it like, oh yeah, shiny stone. Okay.
Don't touch it. It will kill you if you touch it. I sense death. No, wait. Sorry, that's a different stone.
But this one's okay.
Yeah, this one. See, it's fine.
I nervously look at all the rubble around.
One of these stones might kill us. I have foreseen it.
I don't think it'll be this one. What do you guys think? Do you want it? Should I take it?
Oh, you're so young and full of vim and vigor. You take it.
What is it again?
Hopefully it'll...
Yes, it might be best for you to hold on to it, Nimble. Nimblequiddle, Cogsworth and Rufus both have a rather terrible arthritis in their fingers. They might not be able to crack the
True.
stone.
They couldn't even hold it. And yeah, I should definitely.
And my
not
eyes,
bad
just,
enough.
you see my pupils go like so large. Like I'm so excited to have the stone. What's it called again?
It is a elemental gem for an earth elemental.
Awesome.
Cogsworth pulls out his wand, which is broken and bandaged together, and he says, "Well, I'm ready to face whatever this tower throws at us. Are you two in?"
Oh, I'm in.
All right, let's get going.
Excellent. Very well. River and I will be here with the apprentices, and we have secured the Great Hall. So if you do need any respite, return to the Great Halls, and you will find it there. Find us there if you need any support or further help. And if you do need an apprentice or two to carry anything or ferry anything back, please let us know.
Will do.
Very well,
Right,
young
Albert.
man.
Okay. So with that, Eldrick and River lead you to the main elevators, which are partially operational. And they, of course, as you recall, for those maybe Rufus and Cogsworth, Rufus, you'd been to the Drakkenheim Tower years ago. These are not. It is of not dissimilar construction to other Academy towers in the way that they have these lifts that run all the way up the tower, bringing you up and down. And here there is an atrium where there are 6 great lifts that will take you up and down. Most of them appear to be damaged beyond repair, but one of them appears to be working. And you know that you must use the Mage Hand spell to manipulate the illusory controls to determine where you will go. And from there, Eldrick says, I believe we did have one of our apprentices try to go up to the upper levels and just poke around in the alchemy labs and summoning halls, but they haven't returned. So I think you should start there.
Yeah, certainly, sir. Yeah.
I believe they're fine. I say we use the lift. Who has Mage Hand?
I do.
And I produce Mage Hand. But it's a cat paw.
All right. Onward! I hop into the lift.
Well, if you do find her, she is a young half-elf by the name of Yashara. She was rather promising. She was about to get her second ring, but she was an eager volunteer, you must understand.
I understand that.
Nothing
All right.
bad ever
We-
happens to eager volunteers.
We will keep an eye. We'll keep an eye out for
Academy volunteers.
Yashara, right? Yashara.
Indeed. And of course, if anything remains of the work of Provost Nestor.
Oh, good old Nestor. How is he doing these days?
Well, we assume he's very dead.
Ah. But I saw him just... Oh, that was 250 years ago. No, or was that 20 years ago? One or the other.
Did a divination wizard just ask how someone is doing, but they don't know where they are?
I think so.
Let's go.
All right.
I'm already in the lift. I'm waiting for you two. Rufus.
I've got my Mage Hand out, ready to go.
Rufus, get in here. Post
yeah,
haste.
I'm in.
All right. Mage hand us to the laboratory.
With that, the shimmering fields of force appear as you incant the arcane runes, and the shuddering energy pulls you up the shaft on a surface of arcane force, bringing you up several levels just underneath where the tower has split in half. So you can see as you look up that the nexus of energy above where the tower is broken off is still in place there, but the lift brings you up, and as it goes up past the doorways, it stops about 7 levels up. The doors open forth into another atrium. This chamber, in the center of this chamber is the large atrium with 4 statues. Each is carved in the form of a elven wizard imbued with the energies of air, fire, earth, and water. And the 4 of them are each reaching out to each other as if engaged in a debate. And then in the midst of them, there is this open circular space with several benches. From here, you can see the other entrances to the lifts and the balcony that looks out over the city of Drakkenheim on the outer wall. And then there are the hallways that lead off this chamber. One to the north, one to the east, and one to the west.
Are there any signs that say where the laboratories are, or is it just kind of guesswork?
This whole level is all laboratories and summoning chambers. Each room is a lab of some kind or a summoning chamber of some kind. And it is known that this entire level is all connected on a circuit. So the outer edge, the hallways the rooms all connect to each other, but there are only certain rooms that lead into the innermost rooms, and that, because of the varying levels of security, the innermost rooms are the summoning rooms, and the outermost rooms are the more workshop and lab type rooms.
So, guys, where?
So, Quill,
You've been here before. You've been here.
Quill, what's the name of the one we're looking for?
Yashara. But what? Oh, that's the apprentice. Well, who we're actually looking for is the lost staff of Provost Nestor.
So, Cogsworth, tell us where the staff is.
East. Wait, I have a spell for this.
Oh, I mean, magic. We should be using our magic for this.
It makes sense. If you guys want, I could take a little eye around the area, see what I can find.
I mean, just so we don't get smooshed by something that's unexpected. That way.
All right.
Find the things.
Here's an old trick. You guys ready? Watch this. Oh! And I make it look like I'm pulling my eye out, and then I cast Arcane Eye. And so a little hovering. I'm like,
you see my eyes? The pupils just like,
you can't even see my eyes though, so like the joke's kind of lost, and I'm like, just kidding. See, the eye's still there. It's
Rufus is so disappointed. And
I start ringing the little bell on my neck because I'm so excited. I'm like, oh!
Quill, it's good that you have these small enjoyments before your time comes. So I'm going to scout ahead now, and I'm just going to start flying the eye. I'm going to check down the east passage first. I'm going to fly my Arcane Eye down the east passage.
Okay. The east passageway is scored with all kinds of burns, as if caused perhaps by electric discharge. The hallway continues from the atrium some 40 feet before immediately turning. The construction of these halls, like all in the Amethyst Academy, are of this impossible stonework. This combination of obsidian and concrete, with in various places marked with arcane runes of warding and protection of some kind. And as you follow along, it continues before coming to this large mural on the south part of the wall that is of an elemental, fire elemental that is locked behind golden bars. But the hallway continues past the mural to end at a T intersection before veering off to the north and south once again.
North or south, guys?
I mean, maybe north?
I head north with my eye.
Okay. As you turn to the north, the chamber opens up into a large laboratory chamber. Here, there is a great cauldron, some 10 feet wide and 10 feet high, with several ladders positioned all around it, and that lead up to a catwalk above, over top of it. And along one of the side of the walls, there are all manner of drums of various alchemical solutions. And each of them have a tube that, through this apparatus on the north wall, that can lead this tube up to the drum so that the drum can be emptied directly into the cauldron. Unfortunately, what has happened is one of these drums has ruptured, and the entire floor is covered in this octarine, this gleaming octarine sludge that is lighting up the entire chamber. And another one is still filling up the cauldron. So the cauldron is overflowing with two different kinds of liquid. And as the two kinds of liquid collide on the ground, various elemental creatures are spawned where the two of them connect. Some of them are just small butterflies that are a combination of fire, earth, or water. Some of them are other fluttering bumblebees, and others take on various shapes of birds that then start spawning out. But as the creatures are spawned from the point where the two liquids collide with each other, they start off as insects or birds, but then they quickly get bigger and bigger and bigger and larger before some of them just completely discombobulate into raw alchemical fluids and then spill back again into the other pot before then, where they connect again, the refuse material then spills up again and begins fluttering around. And in certain places, it lasts longer than others.
I seem to have found the conservatory of butterflies.
Is it beautiful?
It's quite beautiful. The ground is not good. It sounds like the Amethyst Academy might need to bring in some sort of cleanup crew.
Is it? That's why we're here, right?
We'll tell Eldrick to get someone to get on it. I'm not getting my... I didn't wear the right shoes for this.
I mean, I do have... I have magic that can help. Maybe.
Yeah, it would be assumed that we all have magic. I sense much magic in you.
Yeah, but my magic, I can clean things. This is one of the reasons I'm here, is to help clean things.
Well, this doesn't involve using your tongue.
No. Ugh. Why would I use it? Ugh. No.
Isn't that how... Anyway, there's no other entrances or exits in this room. It's just...
There is. Above the barrel that is spilling on so the whole room is lined with these containers of various arcane solutions, and many of them are labeled. And the ways in which, but the thing is that they just keep spilling out, as if an endless supply of it is coming through, but the room isn't flooding. So somehow it's like this self-sustaining ecosystem in here, where the room is flooded with this thing on the floor to about a depth of a foot, and the more of the liquids. One of the liquids pours into the cauldron, one of the liquids pours in off the wall, and the one that's right above the doorway to the west is pouring over the door and then into the floor.
Is there any way to sneak my eye past the pouring liquid?
Yes, you could certainly try. There's big gooping holes as the liquid falls down, so you could make an Arcana check to try to nimbly drive the eye through the liquid and towards the door, but the door is closed.
Ah. Well, I'm going to try to get up to the door so I can examine it.
Okay.
Here comes the master eye driver. I don't know, that's what I call it when I drive my eye around.
Okay.
Yeah, I get 18.
Okay, you drive your eye up to the door, and it butts into the door, and this goop falls onto it. And as the goop hits the energy of your spell, something strange is happening to your spell itself.
I am becoming more powerful.
The spell, you can feel your perception as it's almost like the eye is getting larger and larger, and then another eye sprouts out of it, and your visions immediately goes 360 degrees around as the energy of your spell is duplicated and forms into and copied several hundred times. So you're now receiving the perception of hundreds of arcane eyes.
I can see everything. I see.
I thought you were a divination wizard. I thought you could already see everything.
Yeah, have you been pulling our chain this whole time?
No, I can, like, literally everything around me. I'm everywhere.
Like a fly?
No, okay. As a divination wizard, I'm always everywhere. But in this current moment, I mean, I could see the whole room. It's like looking through a fly's eye. Have you ever seen through a fly's eye? I've only done it 17 times. It's very strange.
And the eyes continue to bulge out, and at this point, the colony of eyes are almost 5 feet in diameter. There's so many of them. And they begin to, there's so many of them that they start to split off as if by cellular mitosis. And this other glob of eyes spills off from your main glob of eyes.
Felt weird. Oh, this is making me a little dizzy and sick. I try to fly the eyes out of the room.
Make a concentration check.
Is this to maintain my spell?
Yeah.
All right. 16.
Okay. So as you grab control of the spell, you actually find the essence of the original eye, and it pulls away from the bubbling eyes that are in the rest of the room. And as you pull the eye away, you can see that the other two groups of eyes are continuing to expand and grow in size, and the original one now splits again, and there's this third one, and they're all like this bubble of arcane eyes that are infused by this arcane solution are floating around in the room now.
Copperpot.
Am I still seeing through all of those eyes as well?
No, you're just seeing through the original eye now. Yeah.
I fly the eye back to us, and I turn to you guys, and I'm like, I must say, this is only the second time that I've experienced something that bizarre. The first was must have been 300 years ago, and then I just mutter on and trail off into some story about another mage tower and repeating eyes.
I hope my mind never gets like that.
Like what?
Where are you continuing to focus on your eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the eye is floating like back out of the room and like back towards us, but there was also a south passage, right?
Yes, the south passage goes to the south before turning back around to the west and ending in a doorway. And as your eye floats out of the room, the bulbous masses of eyes are following it.
I just want to wait for Copperpot to get out of the way. I'm just gonna close the door just calmly, and then we're just try to.
Should I?
There is no doorway between you and this room.
Oh,
We're in a
It's
hall.
down. It's down a long hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the group of you are still in the atrium where the elevators are, and this is happening down the hallway about 150 feet away.
All right, at this, I fly the eye back to where we are.
No.
Okay.
You hear me yell from the no, don't come back.
As it flies back towards you, the bulbous eyelings are following it.
Ah, so many new friends!
What is this, Copperpot? What happened?
Eyes. It's just eyes. It can't hurt anybody.
Well, you never know. You never know.
I cease concentrating. Are we done? Are we done with my eye?
We've only explored one part of the floor. I thought
And I've seen a lot. Okay, all right.
You've seen a lot in one room with hundreds of eyes.
Well, there's a massive eyes coming towards us, and well, here it is.
So the Cobblepot ends the arcane eye spell, and these masses of floating eyes, which all appear to be multicolored variants of Cobblepot's own eyes, float into the room. One of them, all the retinas on the eyes are brown. One, all the retinas are blue, and one of them are all green, and they're all of various sizes, and they're translucent and clearly magical. So it's the energy of the spell has been somehow animated and brought into its own life. And as they come into the room, and as Cobblepot cancels the arcane eye spell, the three bundles of eyes shriek and begin this shrill crying that sounds like the sound of a gazelle mourning its dead parents.
Oh, what is...
turn it back on.
That is Turtle Rocket.
Wait, you're missing it. This is the sound that a gazelle makes when its parents die. Listen, it's like music.
Oh, no.
The eyes, all the eyes go bloodshot, and the screeching noise that they make seems to be being formed by actually the eyes squeezing themselves and releasing this high-pitched gas.
Oh.
Do we kill them?
Rufus, bottle up the gas. We'll save it for our experiments later. My young friend.
And I grumble, Cobblepot, and I'm gonna try to capture one of the eyes in a jar.
Well, again, these are bundles of eyes now that are about 5 feet across each, floating in the air.
Fit it in the jar, Rufus. In the jar.
I'm trying to jam it. Yes, Cobblepot, I hear you.
I'm using my mage hand for further away to try to help put it in the jar.
They want us to contain the magic, right? That's what we're here for. Clean it up.
As you reach out, one of the eyes splits open into a mouth, and it bites at you as you try to. So each of the eyes split in half, revealing a toothy mouth inside, and they try to bite you.
Excuse me?
I'm getting a 15 to hit.
Oh, ow! It bit me!
Did it hit?
Yeah. It friggin'...
You take 6 points of piercing damage as the eyes...
You're not doing it right. Avoid the mouths that have just magically appeared, obviously. I could have told you that years ago.
I'm... Friggin' eyes. In a moment of anger, I am gonna firebolt the eye.
Okay, let's roll for initiative.
Oh.
Oh, wizards.
Friggin' eye.
Rufus, what do you got?
19.
Nice.
6.
And Cogsworth.
9.
Okay, so, to set the scene. You are just in the atrium, still. There are the four pillared statues surrounding a kind of circular meeting area around the elevators. The hallways leading off to the north, west, and east. And then now from this eastern hallway have come these gigantic, bulbous arcane collections of arcane eyes. All of them kind of screeching, and they're all bloodshot. They're all various colors. They all are vaguely reminiscent of Cobblepot's eyes, which you can barely see, of course, underneath his eyebrows and his beard and everything. And several of the eyes now have mouths and are biting out from the massive interconnected eyeballs and chomping out towards each of you. So Rufus, you are actually first to act. There are 3 of these eye creatures. One is the brown-eyed, the green-eyed, and the blue-eyed.
I in sort of a reactionary moment of anger, right in the hand, and I'm just gonna pull out my wand and just let a firebolt at the thing that bit me.
Okay.
I get a 19.
All right. The spell fires towards the massive eyeballs. Which one?
The one that bit me.
Okay, so we'll say that that's the brown-eyed one.
Okay.
And it collides with the creature. Roll damage.
8 damage.
Several of the eyes pop and burn, but then more kind of split out and reappear, almost quickly trying to replace the previous eyes, but it is damaged by it.
I start taking some steps back, and I'm like, Cobblepot, what did you do?
Don't worry, it's just my eyes.
Anything else, Rufus?
No, that's everything.
Okay, Cogsworth, it is your turn.
So Cogsworth, seeing this, pulls out his broken wand, and you see it kind of spark a little bit as he holds it out, and it looks like it could just explode at any moment. And he holds it out, and he's like, I see you've wounded it, Rufus. Allow me to help you further. And I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the same eye,
Okay.
which is going to be a wisdom saving throw of DC 17.
I get a 15, so that's a fail.
Doing 14 damage.
Nice.
Several of the eyes explode. The creature is bloodied. Anything else, Cogsworth?
No. I'm hanging out. Back a little bit.
Seeing these attacks of spells coming towards you, each of the creatures, the eyes glow with this radiant octarine light, and beams fire out of the eyes towards each of you. And I'm going to have each of you roll me. Each of you can roll me 2d4s.
Oh no.
A 3 and a 2.
Okay. So Nimble, 2 of these rays come bounding towards you. One of them is made of a blue energy, and one of them is made of a black energy. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw and a Wisdom saving throw.
Constitution is 17.
Okay.
And Wisdom is a 14.
You succeed both your saving throws and manage to resist whatever arcane energy is fired at you. Rufus, what did you get?
Absorb it into my star.
And a 2.
Okay, so re-roll one of the 2s.
A 1.
Okay. Can I have you make a Wisdom and a Constitution saving throw?
Wisdom is 24. And Constitution is only 9.
Okay. Well, you resist the Wisdom effect. The second ray, this blue ray, strikes you, and you are struck paralyzed by the magical energy. And Cogsworth, what did you?
I got a 4 and a 1.
Okay, I need you to make a Wisdom and Constitution as well.
Is this against magic?
Yes, these are magical.
All right, so the wisdom one, I'm going to get 19. And the other was con?
Yeah.
23.
You succeed both your saves, but the green ray strikes you, and you take you still take half damage. So that's going to be 10 points of necrotic damage. The first ray was a red ray, and it didn't affect you. And Quill, it is your turn.
I see the injury and I'm like, I can do damage too! And I firebolt the one that's already injured. 16?
That is a hit.
Yes. Oh gosh, too many dice. 17 damage.
With the striking ray, you hit the bright one, and it explodes into a mass of eyeballs that splatter like eye goo all across the walls around it. It is destroyed.
And I ring the bell, and I say, when I ring the bell, I make the spell. And I just keep sitting there ringing the bell like I'm mesmerized by this thing exploding in front of me.
Okay, we go back to the top of the round. With Rufus, you are paralyzed. You can repeat the Constitution saving throw.
A 19.
You snap out of the paralysis, but that is the end of your turn.
I'm shaken. These friggin' eyes.
Cogsworth.
So there's 2 left,
There
right?
are, yes. There are 2.
I
The blue-eyed one and the brown-eyed, the blue-eyed and the green-eyed one.
I'm just going to keep working away on them. So I cast Toll the Dead again on the blue-eyed one.
Okay.
So that's going to be another wisdom save.
I get a 17.
That ties my DC.
That triggers its spell reflection. You can make the saving throw as it turns the spell back upon you.
Oh!
The eyes flare and mimic the spell and cast it back against you.
Ugh, I got a 10.
Okay, roll the damage against yourself.
Well, thank God that was only a 3.
The eyes look at you, and you see, it's like you're staring into your own eyes, and you realize in that moment that the eyes have you see your reflection of your own eyes in the eyes, and upon reflection you realize that you've cast the spell upon yourself.
Ah! I am not the dead! I don't understand. My magic is confusing. Is anybody else having trouble?
Go! No!
How much damage did you take?
I took 3 damage.
Okay. Only 3 from 2d12s?
Because I had lost hit points.
Yeah.
It's 2d12.
Yeah, roll
Oh
those
no.
big d12s there, buddy.
Okay, I had taken damage. Oh, there, aren't we all happy? So that's 15 damage.
Oh, okay. That's more like it.
There we go. 2d12, 15 damage. Cogsworth lets out a little yelp and is running in a circle, confused.
Always remember to take time to pause and reflect.
Oh.
My eyes! My eyes!
Okay, so as we continue forward, the massive eyes swirl in towards the room, firing themselves out at you. And so Cogsworth, the 2 now turn all the eye rays against you. And I'm gonna have you roll. So I'm gonna have you get. You're gonna get hit by 4 of these rays. So roll 4 d4s.
Oh no!
What did I do, Monty? What did I do to upset you?
These eyes. Da.
I got 3 1s and a 4.
Okay, so re-roll all but one of the ones. Or no, re-roll one of the ones.
Okay. So 2 1s, a 3, and a 4.
Okay, so you get hit by 2 of the confusion rays. So roll 2 wisdom saving throws.
Oh man, this is ridiculous. 17 and 16.
Okay, you're not confused. One of the fear rays strikes you, so roll another wisdom saving throw, and then one more constitution saving throw.
11 for the wisdom.
Okay.
And 20 for the constitution.
Okay, so you take another 8 points of necrotic damage. You made your save, but you are struck by the fear ray. You are frightened of your own eyes.
They see into my soul! Good.
Cogsworth, no!
Okay, Quill, it is your turn.
Seeing this horribleness, I do another. You know what? I'm gonna poison spray. Is just. Are they 10 feet away from me?
You could very easily move up to them if you want to be that close. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move 10 feet away from them and poison spray. So they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I get an 8 and an 18.
So one of them is a 16. So one of them saves.
So you get to
Okay.
attack. You only get to attack one creature with poison spray.
Oh, it's only one. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna roll a d4 to see which of the saving
Yeah.
throws applies. Yeah, it's the one that failed the save.
All right. 15 points of poison damage.
The eyes shrivel up.
And then I step back a little bit with just fascination on my face. Yes.
Rufus, it is
Poor
your turn.
Cogsworth.
You are no longer paralyzed.
I'm going to run up to Cogsworth and just kind of check to make sure he's not too burned. Did he get hit with poison? What did he get hit
He got
with?
hit with necrotic damage.
Oh, you can't get much older, Cogsworth. This is.
It really didn't make much of a difference on the outside or on the inside. But my feelings are hurt.
And then I'm gonna turn to. I'm gonna kind of impose myself between Cogsworth and the last eye, and then I'm gonna send another firebolt its way. Ooh, getting a 12 to hit.
The spell is reflected back towards you, and and it gets
Just
a
casually.
20 to hit you.
Ah! I'm gonna use absorb elements, but still take the.
Okay, so you are struck by your own firebolt, taking 10 points of fire damage, which becomes half damage.
Ow! Son of a! Why are we here? What are we doing?
We're cleaning the tower.
Cogsworth, you are frightened.
Yep.
So you can't move any closer to the eyes, and you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you are you can see it. You can't willingly move closer, but this doesn't require you to run away or lose your actions.
As it's moving around, I'm like moving away from it slightly. I'm like keeping my distance, and I'm just like, I don't like these eyes. They make me uncomfortable. They're my own eyes, and I'm gonna try to cast Toll the Dead on it again. Has this one hasn't been hurt though, has it?
The blue-eyed one, yeah, it has been hurt by Quill.
Woo.
Nimbuquill.
It only gets a 15 on its saving throw.
Hooray! That's going to be 13 damage.
All right, that leaves it bloodied. It shrieks. Wah!
And I shriek, ah!
Okay, you may save to overcome your fear.
Is that a con?
Yep.
Or con?
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. I'll still no. That's a 6.
The two masses of eyes turn their attention to Rufus, who has now interposed himself between them, and they fire all their eye rays at you, Rufus. So roll 2 sets of 2d4s.
I got the mother load. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so you get hit by all the eye rays. So I need you to make 2 Constitution and 2 Wisdom saving throws.
27 for the first con.
Okay.
21 for the second con.
Okay.
And then what are the next 2?
Wisdom saving throws. So you still take 10 points of necrotic damage.
18 and 8 for the next 2.
Okay, so you're affected by the fear ray. As well.
Ah! I'm using my ward for the necrotic damage, and I'm gonna continue. And now fear. I'm afraid.
Yeah. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability check while it's in effect.
I add to the screaming horror that is this hallway by also. Ah!
Okay. So Quill, it is your turn.
How many are 2 of them are left?
2 of them are left.
Okay. And they're still in the hall, right? Or are they against?
Yeah, they're in the hallway with surrounding Rufus.
I mean, this little fire isn't doing it, so I think we gotta pull out the big guns here. And Quill rings the bell and fireballs the 2 eyes.
Okay, that will hit Rufus.
Can I do it because it's down the hall, right? So can I do it down the hall and the fire spreads out to the eyes, or
Yes,
are you right up against them?
But with Rufus interjected, there's no explosion that would get both the eyes and not Rufus.
Okay, I won't do that then. Because I was like, I can't hit my buddy. So then I fire both instead.
Okay.
Thank you, Rufus.
I was like, big fire. No, small fire. To hit, and the one that's already been hit by me.
Yep.
Oh. 11.
That is a miss, and the spell reflection is triggered. It fires back around towards you, and I get a 20 against you with your own firebolt.
Ah! Yep, it's...
You take 10 points of fire damage as the eyes reflect the firebolt back at you.
The star on my head is like slightly aflame. I'm like a candle that's been kind of blown out. Like, oh!
What?
We have solved no problems. We've created a monster, and now we're dying to it.
Okay. With all the screaming happening, because you are all frightened, I'm going to have all of you roll me a d6.
Wait, am I frightened?
No, but the other 2 are, or were, so their screaming is echoing down the hallways.
It's frightening me. A d6?
Yeah.
3.
6.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as the situation continues for now, and Rufus, it is your turn.
So I pick up Cogsworth, and I just start running down the hallway away from the eyes.
What's your strength score there, bud?
Bigger question, how heavy is Cogsworth?
I weigh about 60 pounds.
I have a -1 of it. I have a strength score of 8.
You're an arthritic old man trying to pick up
And I'm trying to pick up, and that stupid octopus is so heavy. And so I just come on, Cogsworth. I'm tired of your eyes biting me and shooting me with lasers. I'm terrified of the future. And I try to pick you up, and I'm just gonna try to run down the hallway.
As you pick me up, I place my hand on your face and I say, "It's not your time. It's not your time."
Okay, so you're gonna pick up Rufus? Rufus, you're gonna pick up Cogsworth, and move forward down the hallway or back towards the atrium?
back towards the atrium, and can I send a fireball? Not a fireball, a firebolt back towards them.
It's going to be an action to pick up Cogsworth.
I'm gonna hide behind him then. My fear has grasped me, and I try to get behind him and now put him in front of me and send a fireball over his shoulder.
Okay.
Or a firebolt over his shoulder. Firebolt.
A firebolt. Okay.
Yes.
Or roll to hit.
A 27.
You valiantly hide behind the gnome and launch a firebolt at the gnome's mutated arcane eyeballs. It hits.
I get 18 damage.
You blow it away.
And there's 2 of them still, right? So there's still
left.
1?
Yeah.
1 left.
And I continue to try to peek out from behind the little gnome. I'm basically on my knees trying to hide behind a
Another frail old man.
Yeah.
Cogsworth, it is your turn.
Cogsworth leaps behind Rufus and peeks out from behind you and goes, "Rufus, I lied. This is how you die." And then I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead again. Is this one injured?
No, it's not.
Well,
Oh no. Oh no.
make that save.
I get a 9.
Haha. Take 10 damage.
All right.
Nice.
And now I'm hiding behind Rufus.
We're swapping.
Wait, do I have to roll to
Yeah.
unfear, right? Yeah. 19.
All right, you succeed. The last group of eyes wounded by the spell, it begins to move forward to fire more rays, but the magic that sustains it collapses, and it just shatters into a bunch of very real eyeballs that all fall onto the floor and splatter all about.
As the fear dissipates from my mind, I start to scramble and pick up the eyes and jam them into assorted containers, trying to achieve the original objective.
Yes.
Can I mage hand and help?
Scrape those. There's no time to waste.
Just
trying
don't touch
to-
it with your
This-
bare hands.
All this
Hopefully,
dilly-dallying? I foresaw that when we went into that chamber with the arcane eye that it would create a monster worthy of testing young Quill. Good job.
Thank you, but maybe ask them or tell us that things are going to happen before they do. Only because
Only I may know what is to come. It would ruin the time-space reality if I were to share all my knowledge with you, Quill. Count yourself lucky at how well you showed your skills in this battle that was entirely planned by myself.
Always
you're right.
teaching.
You're right. I did do well. Yeah. Okay. Bring on the monsters. Where are more? Use your eye again and find some more so we can blast their faces off.
I will continue to
treasure.
teach you all lessons on this journey. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to drink this potion. I'm going to drink one of my potions.
Sounds good.
It seems that this terrible place is really overcome with magic. I did not suspect that it would be so dangerous here. We should
No.
keep our guard up from now on.
Rufus, it's not that dangerous. Those were just eyeballs. They no harm. No
I
harm.
feel, Cogsworth, if we continue on this path, you're the biggest danger to us all.
I'm not listen. The best way to figure out how magic works is to test it. We combined a spell with the goop in the room, and now we know that that is a bad thing to do. Lessons are learned, and now we can course correct for the better future.
Do you think the Academy will want some of that goop so they could test it? I mean, that might get us a promotion or a pat on the back at least.
I mean, they have a whole room full of goo. I don't think we need to bottle it for them. We can just tell Eldrick to go to that room and deal with it.
Discoveries aside.
I thought we were the ones that were supposed to deal with these things. That's why I volunteered to help clean up the Academy, right?
Look, you're
Yes, yeah.
young and you really want to show off. I get it, Quill, but we need to find this apprentice, this book. What was it called again?
What if that was the apprentice?
Oh,
Well, your main mission, of course, is actually to clean up the tower. So yes, the person who has to clean up that mess in that room, that's you three.
We could save it for later, knowing we're going to come back to it, knowing that we're going to come do our jobs. But we also have to find that lost staff.
All right.
It's going to pump us up in the books of the elder mages. What do you
Quill,
think?
you seem very eager. I'm putting you down on that room's cleanup. I've put you next to that, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find something cool in there.
Wonderful. You are now assigned that room for cleanup. Let's carry on. We'll come back. We're assessing right now. We're assessing.
So we went to the east
East and north.
Yeah.
and north.
It was a good use of my spell.
East and then north, right?
Yes.
So do we want to go north from the main room or west from the main room?
Yeah.
Or do we
Oh.
want to go back down there and then go south?
As a diviner, I sense great evil to the north.
Let's do it.
Very well. Rufus, you up for an old rough and tumble with some magic beings?
I grumble to myself as I cast mage armor and prepare for what is only going to be more biting. Yeah, Cobblepot.
Smart.
But this time, make sure you know which way we're going.
This time I'm prepared, and I also cast mage armor.
Same.
Like, just in case we get more goo, Just in
Quill,
case.
are you sure you want to go north, Quill?
You said there was danger and evil, and we're supposed to be stopping the evil, right?
Okay, let's go. And I turn to Rufus and I go, I am going to miss her very much. I mean him. I'm going to miss him.
Him.
Don't listen to him, Quill. You create your own destiny.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that you don't.
Yeah. Oh. Let's just go, and whatever happens, happens. All right.
All right. You proceed to the north. North from the main atrium, there is it ends very abruptly in a T intersection. And on either side of the intersection there is a portcullis gate and two switches on each side. So in total there's actually 4 switches. And then on the other side of the portcullis gate there's another set of portcullis gates. And what you can see though is that the portcullis gates on the so it's basically it's symmetrical. So there's a portcullis closed, and then another portcullis only about 10 feet away from the first set of portcullises. But then there is an arcane fog filling in the spaces between the portcullises, so that you cannot see what is in the room on the other side of the portcullis. There are 2 switches outside the first portcullis, and then 2 more switches inside the next round of portcullises. So a grand total of 8 levers are along the north wall, each separated by the portcullises. So right now, accessible to you, you could pull 4 switches.
Should we pull all of them?
No.
Why? Why? Can you see which ones are the right ones to pull?
What do I remember, Monty, about other towers with these types of switches and traps? And
these aren't traps at all. These are quarantine levers for summoning chambers.
We need to get inside.
What you can see is that one of these levers will open and close the chambers, but another one of these levers will dispel all magic in the room, and then a final setting of the levers will destroy all living matter in the room.
I remember these from the old heyday when we used to practice summon demons and other strange creatures from other worlds, and if they weren't friendly, they were dust.
Would I be able to determine the magic behind each lever using the identify spell?
Yes, you conceivably could.
Now, you youngins need to give me a moment. It's going to take me some time to analyze these levers, but I can tell us which one will do which with my divine cosmic knowledge.
Is there a clear marking or indicator, Monty?
One of the levers has etched onto it a padlock, and the other has etched onto it a swirling vortex. And the levers themselves are in a neutral position, but they can be switched up and down.
I mean, if you guys tell me which one, I will try. I don't mind.
Give me a moment, and I place my hand upon the lever with the swirling vortex, and I stand there completely still for 10 minutes.
And I whisper,
what do you think he's doing?
He's communing with some kind of ancient being.
Okay.
Probably some
As
kind
he
of
casts the ritual, you can all roll a d6.
otherworldly nightmare to know.
One.
the origin.
1.
5. Oh, that's great.
Okay. As he is casting the ritual spell, as you begin to finish with a flash of insight onto what is occurring. There is a very you start to hear these heavy, rattling footprints coming from the west.
That's strange. Usually the identify spell speaks to me in a voice in my head, but this time it's coming through as rattling.
it's behind the portcullis, right?
No, it's not behind the portcullis. It's coming from back down in the atrium and to the rooms to the west.
Oh, like down into the west.
Yeah, heavy rattling, and then you hear the sound of dragging metal.
Oh, guys, I think something's coming. Do you want me to go see?
Yes, Quill. Take a look.
Okay, and
This is it, Rufus.
I start to because my legs don't really run. They just like, so like I start like shimmying down the hall.
I'm also going to miss her. Him.
Peek
Rufus, this is how he dies.
No.
Quill, go ahead. There's no cheating fate.
I'm
Go
already
on.
down the hall.
Okay.
And I like shuffle. I look and I'm like,
As you the footprints and the rattling bones and the glimmering metal continue down the hall, and as you look down the hall, you see nothing. But but then you see these sparks and this deep gash being carved in the ground.
Quill, get back here. Get back here.
What is it, Quill? What do you see?
I mean, stone being scraped off the ground.
The scratches move right. The
out.
scrapes and the steps move right up to you, and then suddenly stop. And then there is a moment as there is, with a quick flash, you suddenly see appearing before you is this massive, bloated, 12-foot tall, warrior-like creature with deep green skin and a massive bloated belly and an armored belt covering it. It has gigantic bat-like wings stretching off of its back and this bloated devil-like face. But as it appears out of this blackened mist, you realize the scraping of metal was an axe, a massive two-handed axe it was dragging along the ground that is now swinging down upon you. We're going to take a break right there, and then when we come back, we're going to roll for initiative.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty. So, we are all back and all back in order. We've all had our nice little break. What do we got to review before we dive back in?
So, of course, don't forget to take a look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes merch, like Troll Killer, yes, and, of course, our new merch for Shadows of Drakkenheim that you can find at bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
And if you're enjoying the stream and you want to help support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can find out how by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes. We also have a phenomenal Discord community that is exclusive for our patrons, where you can chat with us about all things D&D, all things Drakkenheim, all the little fun ideas, and anything nerdy that you really want to talk to us about. So join us on Discord and join us on Patreon, and we will see you in the chat.
You betcha. Well, with that, let's dive back into the ruins. And so, before we left for our break, we were just about to roll for initiative. As this green-skinned, fiendish creature, 12 feet tall, brandishes a massive, rusty axe, about to bring it down upon Nimble Quill. So let's roll for initiative.
I did better the last time.
Me too.
Not me.
Now, Quill, you guys will be surprised, however, because this creature, because of this, unless you can all give me right now a perception check to avoid it.
$22.
Okay. Rufus?
14.
4. I'm not aware at all of what's going on.
Yeah, so
It's appropriate.
Yeah, Cogsworth,
Focus on
you're surprised. But Rufus and Quill, you are not. So for initiative, Quill, what did you get?
17.
Okay.
My
Rufus?
dice are hot.
12.
And Cogsworth.
16.
Okay. Okay, so first to act, Quill, as you see this massive battle axe bearing down upon you, you are the first to act.
And is he based with me?
Yes.
Okay. Then I immediately go, "Ah!" and I use my benign transportation to transport 30 feet right back to my companions. And I'm like, there's a big scary ghost down the hall, just so you guys know. I saw him, and he's coming towards us.
Okay, so, yeah, you can use your action to teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and you don't want to switch places with anybody. No.
They have to be willing to do that, so
Okay.
probably.
So you teleport away. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I just start to like shimmy back to kind of whisper to Cobblepot, like, hey, there's a guy there, by the way. And I just like ready with my little like bell to like cast spells on my next turn.
Okay. So quite suddenly, all of you see coming down the hallway from where Quill teleported back from, because you've now teleported back around and run back around the corner.
Yep.
A blob of solid darkness comes careening around the corner. And inside it, you and as it comes forward, you can hear the dragging blade and the ruffling bones.
That's what I heard before.
Yeah, and
That's the thing I saw.
yeah, but that's not. You saw a creature before, and now you just see a blob of darkness.
Magic.
Uh-oh.
Magic.
And it envelops you, and so the darkness comes back around the corner. So you are all basically in that little area where the switches are, with the portcullis on either side. You are enveloped in the darkness with whatever this thing is.
Excuse?
Cogsworth,
What?
you are surprised. Rufus, it is your turn.
Can I see this creature, or is it just dark?
It is pitch black, and you cannot see. The darkness has enveloped you.
Not great. I want to ready a spell. When this thing appears, I want to cast Banishment.
Okay, you have read it in action. We go to the top of the round with Nimble Quill. You are enveloped in darkness. What will you do?
I get really nervous when there's darkness. So I reach out in front of me and I poison spray towards the darkness, like like a nervous fart.
Okay. You do that. Make an attack roll.
So poison spray is so because I can't see him. Do I have to see him in order to? I do have to see him.
You have to see him. Okay.
All right, a firebolt then.
Okay, so you send a firebolt out towards whatever source of sound that you can. Make an attack roll with disadvantage.
15.
You hear it deflect off some flesh, but it did not hit.
There's something in the darkness. I heard it. It's there. Give it your best shot, guys.
And I again
Okay.
hide in my hood.
Quill, from within the darkness, a great axe comes bearing down upon you, getting a critical hit.
Oh!
I said!
For
I told her.
29 points of damage.
I'm a him.
I'll never get it right.
Are you still standing?
Yeah.
Okay, another hit comes down. Getting a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Because we have mage armor on right now.
Yeah.
That brings it up to 15. Shield.
Okay, you block the second attack, but this massive axe blow comes right down, and it splits your hat in half, and you just nudge out of the way, and it crashes into your shoulder.
Oh. This is not what I signed up for.
Alrighty, with that.
Well, is this the thing?
Is this how I die? Oh.
With that, Cogsworth, it is your turn.
So I can't see the creature.
You are in complete darkness. This is magical darkness.
I have just the spell for this occasion, and I pull out my crackling wand, and I'm gonna use the Wand of Wonder here, and I yell Fairy Fire, and I'm going to point it at it and attempt to cast Fairy Fire, even though it's going to be a D100.
Okay, what did you get?
Is double zeros mean that it's 7? I get a 7.
You do in fact cast Fairy Fire.
Oh my god! I do it! Oh my god! I'm
You're
so
as
divine!
stunned as anyone.
Okay, I cast Fairy Fire on the creature.
Okay, it gets a 13 on its dexterity saving throw.
Fail.
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 So, Darkness is a higher level spell than Fairy Fire, but this is... Yeah, so you see with the outline of the creature, because the darkness suppresses the light within the area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the impulse of magical energy, I'm going to have you make in this case, the Fairy Fire energy, make a spellcasting ability check to see if it dispels the darkness spell.
Ooh.
23.
It does. So the Fairy Fire spell's energy is consumed and the darkness spell is dispelled.
Does that trigger the readied action?
It does.
Dun, 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 dun. DC 17 charisma save.
Okay, I got magic resistance. No, I get a 12.
Oh, wait.
So the darkness disappears, and there's a flash of this horrific creature lifting its axe up from Quill, just long enough for Rufus to go, Banish!
And I go, we don't have time for this. Our divination wizard is trying to tell us what these switches do.
Yes, back to that. I just turn instantly and put my hand back on the lever and immediately continue what I was doing.
And I cross my arms and watch him intently.
Ah!
And I just fall over backwards in this position, like,
Oh, right. Quill. You're rather new to this, aren't you? Welcome to the Amethyst Academy, where occasionally you go to your place of work and things attempt to murder you.
I thought we were gonna find nice things, nice shiny things. I didn't know I was gonna almost die. You said I was gonna almost die. Am I gonna die?
I was 95% sure that is where you died, but I think in my calculations I didn't calculate for Rufus being here. So
What you're saying is I'm cheating fate.
no, I'm saying that every time that a choice is made, about 1,000 other possibilities appear before me in my head, and it gets very confusing. So I do my best. Now, what's this lever?
I'm just gonna drink this potion right here.
and I drink a greater healing potion.
So the levers, the one lever with the vortex on it, when pulled up, it creates a with the vortex. Anything that is between the two portcullises is hit with dispel magic, and when it's pulled down, anything between it is hit with disintegrate.
Oh.
Wow, that was 10 minutes of my time. Should I try a different one? What's the lock one? I sit here for another 10 minutes going,
I'm just gonna grab it, and as you're holding it, I just push it up.
Well, and it causes the push up. It causes the first set to open up.
Rufus, you are a hasty man.
Do it
So
again.
the first portcullis opens, and you can now.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it again.
I tried putting it down, all the way down.
All the way
without
down.
moving.
It closes all the way. It slams shut, and a shimmering wall of force appears in between the bars.
Try the other way again. That worked better.
Open it up again.
Yeah. So up, open, middle, closed, down, like locked with a wall of force.
Back to open. Can when it's open, can you go all the way through?
No, the other when it's all the way opened up, Then there is a...
It's only the one side, right?
Yeah, the one side opens, and then there's another pair of switches in the middle.
What did the other switch do again?
Disintegrates or dispels magic. I would suggest we don't touch that one.
Not while we're in it.
Preferably. Because that is how I have foreseen Quill's death.
Is it at your hand? Are you trying to make your premonitions come true, Cogsworth?
I'm not going in there.
Absolutely not. I just see things and tell it how it is.
Open it up. And I open it up, and I'm going to go into the container, and I'm going to look at the other two switches.
Okay, one of the other two switches are both marked with locks.
Ooh. This is a tricky one.
Would you like me to spend 10 minutes telling you what they do?
I don't have time for this. I'm trying to get to my retirement, and I'm going to put the first one up.
No, not that one!
So the one closest to the open portcullis, you're going to pull that one up?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nothing happens.
I told you not that one.
Down. I'm still standing outside the gate. I'm like, pull it down.
I'm gonna put it back to neutral and put the one that's furthest away from the open up.
Okay, so you put it to the neutral position, and then pull the other one up, and the other portcullis rises up into a circular room that comes up to a shimmering dome. On the ground in this room are a set of glowing runes forming a magic circle, and in the middle of the magic circle is a rather bookish half-elf woman wearing purple robes. And she gasps as you open the door. She's like, ah!
You guys are scaring her. Hi! And I tinkle my bell as I go up to her.
Maybe she knows what's going on.
Yes, Shara. Right, Shara?
Yes, I'm Yashara. I was just inspecting this room. Everything's totally normal. It's totally fine. I'm doing okay. Nothing bad happened. I promise.
Taking a look at what she's drawing on the ground. Yeah, what has she been drawing?
I didn't draw this. It was like this when I got here.
Can I
run into here?
Can I tell if she's lying?
She is not lying about the circle being there. You can look at that arcane circle, and that is a magic circle. An apprentice of her rank making a circle like that would unquestionably be outside her abilities.
This circle is unquestionably outside of your abilities. I'm going to have to report you. I'm writing it down.
No, it was here. It was here. I came into this room, and there was this demon in here. He had green skin and this axe, and he said that he would give me a magical amulet if I gave him my locket. And he gave me this amulet and took my locket, and then I got stuck in here and he walked out.
I hope you didn't want that locket back, because it's been returned to his former plane of existence.
What?
What?
Show us the locket that this demon gave you while you're making trades with demons in a broken mage tower.
He said that this amulet would give me great arcane power, and that he would give it to me if I gave him my locket, and that would set him free, and I would have great arcane power. But now I'm stuck in here wearing this, and I don't have great arcane power.
Two things.
Not a very good deal.
Number one, you're not locked in here anymore. We've opened the door. Number two.
No, you don't understand. And she reaches her hand forward across the barriers of the circle, and as she does so, magical chains appear around her wrists and arms. So as she moves to walk towards the edges of the circle, the chains binding her in place appear.
Oh, this is simple. And I look around at you two, waiting for... We've seen this a million times.
I mean, it might be a lost cause. She made a deal with the demon.
What were you doing making a deal with a demon when the first thing that they teach you, when you come into school, they hand you your robes and say, don't make deals with demons? At least that's what they said to me.
You are part of the old curriculum.
I had to wait to get to third year before they told me that.
Really old curriculum.
Well, the thing is, in third year, they tell you not to make deals with demons. And then in fourth year, they completely contradict all that by telling you that, well, sometimes you can make deals with demons. Magical Ethics 401 completely messed me up.
Oh,
Look,
trust me, I've been taking magical ethics for years, and the whole thing's jibber jabber. Ethics are just out the window when it comes to magic. Some people love demons, some people hate demons. It just depends on who you talk to.
First, you learn about dualism, and then they show you this whole thing about alignment charts and tell you about the forces of lawful good and neutral evil. And then they come along with the fourth edition of the textbook and tell you that it's just unaligned and there's no such thing as lawful evil anymore. And then the whole thing gets completely messed up in fifth edition of the Tomes of Magical Ethics, where they tell you that there is an alignment chart, but then there isn't an alignment chart, and that sometimes you use it and sometimes you don't. I don't understand how it is anymore. And then they showed me this whole thing about this magical creature known as the Batman and tried to explain to me how he could be of any conceivable alignment, and then I just completely didn't understand magical ethics anymore. And so
There's a fourth and fifth edition?
Guys, I think I skipped fourth year, skipped right up to fifth, and missed this whole ethics class. I don't know.
I'm still reading original textbooks.
Well,
it's the only true way.
Well, the only thing worse than that was the Manual of the Planes. I mean, there were so many editions of the Manual of the Planes. One of them said that there was Arborea. The other one tells me about the Great Wheel. The other one tells me about the whole Dawn War and everything. This is all really, really confusing. How are you supposed to understand the cosmology of the world that we live in when two textbooks are telling you completely different things?
Okay. It's very simple. All you have to do is study for about 700 years and you'll be okay. I learned it all. And if I can do it, so can you.
Well, if I'm going to learn anything else, I'm going to have to get my way out of this.
Yes,
I mean,
added
to the room of things we need to clean up. We'll be back.
Quill, I'm putting you under this room, okay? You're in charge.
I have the last room.
You seem eager.
Well,
Quill
it is
will
important that you prove
Elf.
yourself to the Academy, as you have said so yourself. We would wish nothing more than to see the Archmages recognize you as head cleaner of the cleaning crew. In fact, taking on the most responsibility, including...
Is that a level up from what I'm currently doing?
You're just going to leave me here?
No. Let me just look. I can banish you if you'd like.
This is just like the time my headmaster was trying to instruct the other students the polymorph spell by turning me into a chicken for 3 hours.
I mean, I can do that too.
Please don't.
Listen, Yusara, if looking at the runes on the ground, the magic circle, without using magic, can I tell what spell has been cast here? Or
make an Arcana check.
I get an 11.
Such wisdom.
So it looks like a rune.
Well, you're an abjuration wizard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know this immediately. This is a magic circle. And not only this, Academy Towers reinforce the binding magic of magic circles. So under normal circumstances, a magic circle can be dispelled or trespassed, but the extra level of security of an Academy Tower means that dispelling a magic circle in an Academy Tower is not quite a simple matter. Usually, there's certain conditions, and these are used so that creatures may be summoned into the Academy Towers and safely contained for whatever binding reasons that the mages are going to be using. From as near far as you can tell, the anchor for this particular binding is the amulet that she is wearing. But she can't take the amulet off. So someone else, the amulet that she's wearing is the keystone of the spell, but she can't take it off herself, and it will not, even if she just took it off, it would still be in place. Typically, for this to work, if someone else put the necklace on, then she would be free, because whoever's wearing the necklace is the new subject of the spell. But if she just took it off, it wouldn't apply. But if someone else took it off her, she could walk out. But they would have to put it on before the effect is transferred. So whoever wears that amulet is the one trapped by this circle.
Now, there was a switch to dispel magic. Do you think that would do anything?
It affects whoever is in the between the two portcullises.
I asked that to Rufus. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Interesting.
I could enlarge her or reduce her.
That'll just make her bigger or smaller stuck in.
Well, you're very wise beyond your years. What if we found a replacement for Usara?
We can go back. We can go back and clean this up. I mean, it doesn't have to be now. Although we did.
Well,
Can we unbanish that thing you banished?
well, since you're going to die today anyway, you might as well save a life.
I'm not sacrificing. I have so much potential in order to I ain't going up this way.
Quill, as a conjuration wizard, do you have any can you conjure something that could relieve the amulet from Usara?
I mean, it'd still have to go on someone in order for it to do anything. I could mage hand it away from her, but it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, taking the amulet off her. It's not a matter of just taking the amulet off her. It's another creature must take the amulet off her and put it on themselves.
Yes, if we conjured some replacement.
What if I bring my butler? He's sort of an unseen servant. Could we put the amulet on him?
It's not
Does it count as a creature?
A true creature.
What about
I tried telling him that once, and he was very offended.
what about your octopus?
You could
Excuse me.
You could put it on your familiar, but there's but then your familiar would be trapped in the circle.
I mean,
But I can. No, I can't.
You wouldn't be able to dismiss your familiar because the circle will bind your familiar in place.
anybody have flock of familiars? Then you can at least have 2 more after.
Usara, we will have to reach out to Eldrick. May this be a lesson in dealing with demons, as we have all had our fair share. Cogsworth?
I mean, I've dabbled with demons, and it's each mage's choice on whether they decide to summon a demon, befriend a demon, have tea with a demon, go shopping with a demon.
Yes,
Those
demons
ones.
are
One other
a
detail
tricky bunch.
is that there is another portcullis on the other side of this room with the other set of levers as well.
Yashara, we're gonna be right back. We'll lock you in here so nothing can get in and eat you. Just in case. But we know where we'll mark you on the map.
I'm gonna kind of toss in some rations, like a bag of nuts, into the circle.
Okay.
You're gonna be here a while.
I mean, we can always go down and get the other mages and see what they think as well. But I mean, after.
This is worse than than detention.
Well,
Yes.
I do not blame you for seeking great power from a demon, but the lesson I hope we have learned here is that there are consequences to our power-hungry dreams and ambitions. So I do not fault you, but you will have to stay quiet and wait here until we can figure out a way to get you out.
You should study up on your divine magic. It doesn't take foresight to know that dealing with demons is a bad idea.
Which way would you like to go?
Let's go check out the other.
The other side of this.
Cool. So you figured out the mechanics of the portcullis system. So you're able to exit the other side of the room, and it opens up into another very long hallway. Now, immediately across from you, as you come out this door, there is another doorway before you, and flooding under it is the sludge from before. And you can surmise that this is the other side of the cauldron room. The hallway then extends up about 100 feet to the north before ending in another small room. That from here you can see that in that room has a magical orb suspended in the center of it, from which there are 8 different tubes coming out.
I sense great joy coming from this orb. I sense that it is a good idea to touch it.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I mean, I can touch it, but I don't know. Maybe you guys should. You get more experience.
Is the orb like in reaching distance for a 3-foot tall gnome?
No, you're 100 feet away. You're down the hallway.
Oh. I sense goodness coming from that general direction. I say we head that way and not towards the sludge.
Avoid the sludge. Can we block the sludge?
Well, the sludge is kind of coming out from underneath the door that's across from you down this hall. It isn't really expanding. It's just spreading out from under the door.
Can I use minor conjuration to make almost like a wedge that goes underneath the door to stop the sludge?
Yes, but you would have to move the wedge into the sludge.
Okay. Can I use my mage hand to move the wedge into the sludge?
Okay. You conjure the wedge and begin to move it into the sludge. And I'm going to have you make an Arcana check to avoid touching the sludge with your mage hand.
Uh-oh.
12?
Okay. As you do, you push the brace into the sludge, and your mage hand touches the sludge.
Oh no!
And as it does so, the hand shudders and begins growing in size, and becomes you feel like you're losing control of the hand itself as it starts to increase and increase and increase and increase in size.
Uh-oh.
Can I stop the mage hand?
You want
or is its own entity now?
Okay, make a concentration check to try to try to break it before it gets out of control.
18.
The mage hand dissipates, and the energy hasn't caught on before it can ignite into its own creature.
Oh.
I think we just head the other way. Don't touch the sludge.
Don't touch the sludge.
Is that your divination speaking, Cogsworth?
I am all-knowing.
There's an intensely powerful divination spell known as Detect Common Sense.
And a lot of people don't have it.
Very few people know this spell.
Some people have it in their spell books, but rarely prepare it. Anyways, where were we? Literally, where were we?
That hallway.
Down the long hallway, but can we avoid the sludge?
Ah, yes. Towards the joyful orb.
The joyful orb. Okay, you head down the hallway, and as you do so, you pass another mural that appears to be of a earth elemental bound up in chains. And as you pass towards it, as you pass by it, you come to the final room, where there is this large glass orb, and coming out from the walls are 8 struts. All of them are bringing energy in from unknown sources, but there's a clear flow of energy into the orb in the center of this room. And the various struts are coming down. 4 of them come up from the floor, 4 of them come up down from the ceiling, and they all connect into the orb at parallel angles to each other. So you can imagine the orb in the center, and then 4 rods connecting it into the bottom, then going into the floor, and then 4 rods connecting to the top of the orb, and then going back into the ceiling. And then there are metal ports that the rods connect into. And this is in the middle of the room. And then all along the walls, there are all manner of various arcane sigils atop large plates that are then strung from these arcane sigils that are on stone plates that are then attached to cables that go into the roof of the room.
Well, this room seems to... Oh.
There's about 40 of these different sigils.
This room seems to be in working order, so I'm just going to put a check mark next to it.
Wait, do you have a map?
Great work, Cogsworth.
No, I'm kind of just... I wrote down room, joy orb, tubes, check mark.
Joy orb.
And then in this room, there is another door leading out to the west. Opposite the door, and you've come in from the south. And then opposite the door on the opposite wall, there is another mural which depicts a creature of Shadowfell bound behind bars made of bones.
Bars. Shadow.
I'm going to go up to this orb and just give it a quick once over. How big is it?
It is approximately 3 feet in diameter, and it appears to be made of glass. And the energy is building around it and swirling around inside. But as you can actually see inside it, as you look closer, there is this purplish octarine rock inside it.
How high off the floor is the orb?
It is about 4 feet off the floor.
This
has got to be something important.
I have a good feeling about this, and I run up underneath it, and I reach up, and I'm going to place my hand on the orb. Don't worry, guys. I do this all the time.
Okay.
Step back.
You place your hand on the orb, and it's very warm to the touch. And you feel like your mind is opening up. And the feeling when you touch the orb in your mind is the feeling that you feel when you prepare spells.
I told you this was good. Oh, yes. I remember this feeling. I feel it often. This is a good day. Well, that was fun.
Is the orb
Go ahead, give it a touch.
Can my hand pass through it, or does it is it like made of glass?
It's made of glass on the outside. The rods then lead into it.
Yeah, I mean,
this appears to be the furnace.
Do all towers have an orb like this, or is this like one of a kind thing?
Yeah, this is a spell furnace. And a spell furnace, you can pull the tabs along the walls here, and the spell furnace primes a spell. And you can then touch it, and that spell enters your mind. So effectively, when you touch the spell furnace, you can change one of the spells that you have prepared for any of the other spells that are stored in the spell furnace.
So when I was touching it, am I aware of what spells I have access to?
They're the spells that are all around the chamber here. Basically each one of the stone tablets, you pull it down, and that determines which spell is loaded into the spell furnace. And then you touch it again, and it puts that spell. And you have to when you touch the spell furnace, you have to change one of the spells that you get that spell as a prepared spell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I told you it was a joyful orb.
So joyful. All right. Do you guys want to swap any? I just want to play around with this thing.
Can I go up to like two of the things on the wall? I'm like, can I, guys? Is it a good idea? Bad idea? Good idea? Bad?
Since you're new, I suppose it might be fun for you.
Oh no, not
Yes,
me.
Quill.
You. I just want to put a spell in the thing.
Well, what spell are you putting in?
I don't know. I look at the wall. What is the closest one that I see?
You see the spell Cone of Cold.
Guys, about Cone of Cold?
I mean, I'm on a cleanup mission, and I picked spells for cleaning up. I don't need Cone of Cold. There's no monsters or horrible things in this tower.
We have already seen do horrible things in this tower.
Wrong.
Okay, fine.
We
You'll leave it for
created
now.
a horrible thing, and the second horrible thing is now in its home. It is a non-issue.
Yeah.
Quite the job cleaning up.
I agree.
So far, we haven't really cleaned up much. I mean, we know it's here. We can always get cold later. It's very powerful.
All right, I'm putting this room down with your name on it. Quill will take care of spell furnace room and make sure it is all in working order later. Check mark.
I am okay with that one.
Maybe you're right. We should try it.
Cone of Cold?
Let's see if it works.
Is it a lever that I pull?
You pull down the pull chain that is the spell that you want, and then you touch the spell furnace with both your hands, and you concentrate for about a minute, and that pulls the spell into your mind, and you have it as if you prepared the spell.
All
Rufus,
right.
are you going ahead?
Rufus, I'm pulling the chain. I already pulled the chain.
Let's see if it works. And I'm going to walk over to the orb and touch the orb.
Okay. You feel the energy of the spell Cone of Cold enter into your mind, as if you immediately understand it. And the energy crackles through you, and you feel very warm inside and filled with magic.
Did it work?
Seems to be working.
All right.
It's almost
What other
buzzing. It's like
spells?
it's like, yeah, ready. It's like
Yeah, that's
put
the
some
good
prep
stuff
in your
there, friend.
put some prep in your step.
I suddenly feel more joyful for being here.
I told you. I have
Cogsworth,
never been
please.
wrong.
Touch the orb.
I don't need that spell. Okay, fine. And I touch the orb.
And I pull the thing.
Okay, you now have Cone of Cold prepared. You're not gonna go and look at the other spells. Just you
And then after I do that, then I go look at the other spells. I'm like, all right, I'm done with Cone of Cold. What else is there? And I start to look along the
there's
wall.
Wall of Force, there's Animate Objects, there's Blight, there's Fireball, there's Counterspell, there's Dispel Magic, there's Lightning Bolt, there's Invisibility, there's Greater Invisibility, there's Mage Armor, there's Shield, there's Absorb Elements, and there's a few others.
Again, this room seems to be in working order. We can carry on.
Okay.
Then I walk out. And
I'm like, I'll be back for you.
Does it turn off? Is there an off feature? We don't like to leave
It
the lights
resets
running.
after one each time. The energy is absorbed. Yeah.
Whew. Cone of Cold, that's the good stuff. It feels good.
It's most experienced mages can safely use a spell furnace once per day, but you can attempt to use it more than once. It's just that at that point, it's about you're cramming in more spell energy than your mind can fit. So each time you attempt to use it beyond the first time, there's a chance that you'll lose other spells that you've prepared.
What if you've already lost your mind?
Well, I mean, Cogsworth, you might have used a spell furnace a lot in your life, and that might explain
My record is 17. 17 times in one day. Mind you, I was a young whippersnapper, only 783 years old.
Do you think I could do 17?
Oh my.
One way to find out.
No, not today. Serious mode. We gotta get this done. Focus on our mission. We gotta become successful Academy folks. I mean, you guys are already successful. I gotta become a successful Academy folk. So we gotta find that staff. Let's go. And I march out of the room.
She thinks that she's not established already by being chosen for this job, this elite, dedicated job.
This backwater.
This beautiful city.
Destroyed tower.
I volunteered for this job, but
I need your help.
Nobody was trying to talk me out of it. I mean, I think people think I'm a bit weird in the Academy, and I'm really just trying to prove myself that this awesome look of mine can go far in the world.
Well, there's another entrance here, right?
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
Okay. The door opens up into a hallway that is that stretches back across the way of the whole building. So probably about another 100 feet. There are two doors along the hallway, both double doors. And all of them are surrounded with arcane runes over the top of them in the archways. There are dancing lights that float down the hallway illuminating it. And then there is another exit directly opposite the hallway. So there's two doors going to the south off this hallway.
Well,
I refer to you, Cogsworth, the predictor of all. Can you tell us where you might find this staff? Maybe we can speed up our search so we don't feel so mundane in our search. Yes.
Let me. Very well spoken, Rufus. Are there so there's two passages south?
Yeah.
Are they blocked by a door?
The southway passages, they kind of go into an alcove, and then there are doors leading south. Two sets of doors leading south.
My divine senses tell me, hold on, to go in the right door, as opposed to the wrong one.
Okay, so you walk down the hallway to the rightmost set of doors, and pushing them open, a large room sprawls out in front of you. There are several this room is very wide, almost 80 feet wide itself, and about 60 feet deep. And all through this room, there are two more of these furnaces built in this room. But instead of having the energy comes into them, but then there are these large cables that have been plugged into them, 3 cables each on each orb, and all of them snake out like in these tubes towards this central set of stairs, where there are several standing stones and obelisks, all carved with all manner of runes. The two obelisks kind of form a pyramid upon which another obelisk has been placed perpendicular to the first two. And the obelisk on top then has a set of gears on either side, so it could rotate on top of almost this tripod that is formed by the bottom stones. And then the whole thing can rotate in place on that tripod, and the tip end of it has all of these magnifying glass, like all these giant plates of glass all through it that are binding out, almost forming they each get smaller and smaller and smaller after the other. So the whole apparatus can be rotated, and there's this set of focusing lenses all coming in onto a point that is pointed into this hallway extending to the south that opens up into another room. There's a set of stairs that lead up to the back, up onto the top of this obelisk, and then off to the side, these other closets have all manner of what appear to be alcoves where various forms of weapons have actually been kept. So there are several swords and glaives and staffs and suits of armor and other pieces of equipment. One of the other rooms has various staves, and then one of the final rooms, this alcove, has on it several alcoves in the main alcove that have locked drawers, and each drawer is very carefully labeled.
Locked drawers.
Yes.
Do you think anybody have anything that can unlock them?
Yes. Or no.
And sprawled out by the locks are a set of tattered robes and bones, clutching a set of keys, and a white and black wooden staff. This is the staff of a provost.
Oh, we found the staff and the keys. I don't
We
need to
got
switch
it.
out my spells.
Perfect.
Well,
Well,
Can I mage hand to grab the staff?
this is how it happens, Rufus.
And I look really scared towards Cogsworth. But I want a mage hand to pick up the staff.
Okay, you mage hand to reach the staff, and as you pull the mage hand, the set of bones clatter all about the room, and the staff returns back to you. And you have the staff in your hand. The bones were clutching the staff, and then when you pulled it, they got scattered all across the room.
I made a mess, but I got it. I got it.
Oh, he was so young. It's sad to see him die like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
young?
I want to.
I meant you.
The keys.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Sorry,
That's.
Joe. What do you want to do?
I want to mage hand the keys.
Okay, you pull the keys, and the hand is still holding onto them, and it comes towards you with the hand.
And I flick it off, and kind of roughly. They said we could use whatever we needed while we were down here. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I need to find this tuning fork. It's my only chance.
Think it might be in one of these drawers? How big is it?
I don't know. Quill, be so kind and help an arthritic man open these locked chests.
You know,
My wrists aren't the same as they used to be.
I mean, you could use your mage hand to do it.
All right, I'll
could-
just do it.
I could find your tuning fork quite easily. It would just require a small nap.
I mean, I don't know if you want to be napping here. Maybe we should take the staff back, nap, and then we can find it.
When I say nap, I mean meditation, because when I can meditate, I can choose different spells to fill my brain with, and I have one that might help us locate an object. As a matter of fact, the spell is known as Locate Object.
Yes.
I mean, magic. It's a fantastic thing.
All right, I'll just
Open these
check
drawers.
these drawers myself, and I'm gonna. All right, everyone, stand back, just in case something goes wrong.
I lean forward a little bit. as you
Something
say this.
will go wrong, Rufus.
And I'm gonna mage hand with the key, and I try to open the first, maybe the most left. Oh wait, no. Before I do it, I'm gonna read what they actually say.
Yeah. So
Reading.
there are drawers here. There are several. The drawers here, as you come up to them, each of them is labeled, carved in elegant runes. And as you come up to the drawers, you can actually see that the little labels are little pieces of glass. And as you go up to them, you look, and it shows you a glimpse of a strange world. And so, going up to one of them, you look into it, and the label shows you a world made of all fire. And you look up at another one, and you see a world that is made of all water. And then you look up at another one, and you see through the glass a vision of the Feywild.
I have a moment.
You're not retired yet.
longing.
I mean, if we return this staff and he gets the ring-a-dinger
We need
to
this.
get to the
tuning fork.
Feywild.
There's no way I can get out there without this. Or maybe it's in this drawer. And I'm gonna take a few steps back, and I'm gonna open the drawer with the Feywild.
Yeah. Inside is a long rod, approximately 2 feet wide, in a Y shape that is Y shaped. This is the tuning fork for the Feywild.
At last! My retirement.
Congratulations.
Let's go tell them about that mage that's caught in the summoning circle.
As you do so, the skull on the ground says, "Rufus, what are you? You're, by my guess, you're still 2 weeks away from retirement."
Who's that? I know that voice.
"Rufus, it's Nedster. What are you doing taking that tuning fork already?"
Nedster? It has been quite a time since I've talked to you. How did you end up here?
"Well, I kind of got boned by the whole position."
Oh, such a kidder. Such a kidder.
I'm clutching the staff like, no!
"Well, you see, something strange has happened, and, well, I think I'm dead."
It would appear you are.
Maybe a little bit.
But
Only a little bit.
You seem fine to me.
I don't think I'm entirely dead, because I can still feel my bones, and I can still talk to you. I think I might be stuck.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, we shouldn't waste. I have a feeling that due to the failure in the Arcane, the warding, and what's been happening with the delirium, maybe something is keeping you sort of between worlds. Old friend, you wouldn't mind if I gave you a ride out of here?
Not at all. I mean, you can just take the head of me. I guess I won't be needing the rest of it anymore. Can't really feel my arms or legs anymore.
Oh, let's not. I'm in a great mood. I'm one step closer to relieving my position, and I just start cramming all of his bones into my backpack, old friend, you deserve a proper sending off. And I put everything, and then I'm gonna keep the head kind of on my person. Like I'm gonna keep him like the head out so we can chat while on our way out.
I'll hold the staff.
Who is this?
Well, sir, my name is Nimble Quill, and I am a talented and up-and-coming wizard in the academy, and I'm going to be Archmage one day. One day.
Ambitious.
And
I hope you don't get blown up.
Well, I've been told that I probably will by, Cogsworth over here, but I don't take it as truth or, 100%.
what?
Maybe not, maybe like 98%, but there's still a percent. I'm fine.
My name is Cogsworth B. Copperpot, and I am the greatest diviner that's ever lived.
Well, since you're gonna get close to your retirement, says Nestor. The skull doesn't even move. It's just his voice. Like somehow his voice just carries it from the skull. You might as well get the apparatus all up and running again. It'll be the fastest way to get there.
I beg your pardon?
Well, the apparatus. That's one of the things we were working on here. My masterpiece.
Well, Nestor, have you completed it?
Well, I almost thought I'd had it done. Didn't quite have the power source we thought we needed, but you take this key, the tuning fork, you slot it in on the top of that there thing, and, well, with enough power, you put someone at the end of the hallway there, you fire it at them, sends them to another plane of existence.
I mean, how do you know it actually works, though?
What do you mean?
I mean, do the people disappear? Do they come back?
Well, they definitely
blew up.
disappear. And they must
you
have
don't
come
know
back
if
because they've
actually-
gone to another plane of existence.
Nestor, old chum, I can't thank you enough. I was always thinking
It's a big,
of how
beautiful beam and zot. We tried it with three
Slow.
apprentices and 2 dogs.
teleportation is so slow nowadays. I feel like there's faster ways to get to other planes of existence, and you might have the key.
Indeed. It fires a hole straight through the worlds into another realm.
Where's the power source?
Well, it relies on the Nexus, of course.
That's broken.
I thought it was back up and running.
Is it? I heard it's still kind of broken.
They didn't
Perhaps.
fill me. I skimmed the pamphlet.
This has been one of our masterpieces here in Drakkenheim. I was building on the works of, well, you know there's been many archmages here, Modera and the others have been working for a long time on mastering more ways of planar travel beyond just slipping it through the crossroads into the Feywild and the Shadowfell, of course. And you see, it was thought for some time, well, you might not know, but I happen to have, hidden in my quarters here, some of Lenneth Eventide's old planar treatises. People thought she got off with them, but I made a few copies before she left.
So what you're saying is very valuable information for the Academy.
Indeed. You see, traveling to the other worlds from our world has always been one of the greatest magical puzzles. We could summon things from other worlds, and we've known of ways to cross into the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but the worlds beyond, the Hells, the Primordial Plains, all those other places, portals have been made, but it's very difficult to travel that distance and get back. But this device, this machine, we could unlock the secrets of the elemental planes. We could unlock the depths of the Shadowfell, the far-off places of the Feywild, not just the Fey crossings. You want to have a vacation just at the edge of the Feywild, or do you want to go to the Queen of Winter Summer's palace herself?
And by getting this, we can scribe the name Nimblequill in the history of the Academy forever.
Well,
I'm in.
well, no, you need to make sure that I get posthumous credit, of course, but...
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
I
sir,
seem
old
to be
chum, your name is all over
here.
it.
If you want to work on it, I'd be more than happy to share the credit with you.
Guys, screw the staff. We need to go get this device.
I sense that is not the best idea.
Yes, Cogsworth, you keep going on and on. Nestor, where is your quarters?
Well, I was worked below the Archmage, so they're up in the upper half of the towers. But I've got many of my old spellbooks locked up away there, sure, and including my collection of Eventide's works.
I sense really bad things in the upper parts of the tower.
I'm sure between the four of us, we can get up there no problem and figure out all this amazing Academy stuff. I'm sure that's what they want us to do.
Well,
right?
In that case, we only have about 5 minutes left tonight. But I think we might have to continue our little adventures of our three mages from the Amethyst Academy next week. Yes?
Woo.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's where we will end for end things off for tonight. But a giant thank you, of course, to everybody. We will continue this little mini adventure next week and see how much further we get through the Academy Tower. Our cleanup crew still has a little bit more to work to do. Of
We
course.
haven't cleaned anything. We haven't cleaned
Done
anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know what we're doing.
I have so many chores
We're not very
to do.
good. Um,
I'm distracted.
Yeah.
yes, I'm jotting down on the notepad, like, Quill will take care of this room. Check mark.
If I can prestidigitate it, I can do it.
Also, I do want to give a huge thank you to Monty for figuring this all out and letting us run this campaign, this little side mission. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. So just to clarify for those that were following along or just jumping in now, so we are trying to make sure that this setup works really, really well. I think we got a few kinks to still iron out. Maybe with some sound syncing. It might honestly just be the network. Like, everybody and their brother and their brother and their sister are all using the internet nowadays all the time, all day. So it might actually just be that our bandwidth across the network is just a little bit off. So we'll continue to troubleshoot and see how this works. But I would be curious to know how people felt the session went overall. Having only played Dungeons & Dragons purely online a handful of times and playing completely Theater of Their Mind, this was a lot of fun. This was a cool experience. So I would love to get your feedback on what you thought about this and how this worked, because we might be doing this for a while yet. We will see how the situation goes here in Toronto and how we... how long our lockdowns and whatnot are in effect. So, that concludes our session for this evening. We'll continue to do this, and as always, we will continue the story of the cleanup crew of the Amethyst Academy next week and see where they get to. I'll also make sure that we get the links for the D&D Beyond character sheets posted as well, because I think a few people asked about that. And once we're done with the Academy, we'll move on and maybe tell us if you would like to see the Hooded Lanterns, the Silver Order, the Followers of the Falling Fire, or the Queen's Men next. We would love to know who you would like to see. We've got a whole cast of characters planned out. So this will be continuing the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim. So every couple of weeks we'll be transitioning to different factions, different moments in time. So they will not be in chronological order. There could be. We're thinking about doing one maybe even set 5 years before the campaign. We'll see. There'll all be mini adventures with new characters to give us a chance to try a couple different things out. So please let us know how what your feedback on all this was. And as always, a giant thank you to Joe, Jill, and Kelly for playing and being super awesome. We didn't have Kyle with us here tonight, but a big thank you to him as well for all the amazing work he does editing and getting our podcast all ready and going. What else we got to clear up with there, Kelly?
So also we said thank you to Monty. You're amazing. You're a wonderful DM. So thank you so much. And then Jill, do you want to mention?
Yeah, of course. Don't forget to take a look at the links below for our Teespring store. You can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes merch, including t-shirts like Troll Killer, throwback to the first Drakkenheim, and of course all of our new Shadows of Drakkenheim shirts as well. So bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
And if you are enjoying the stream, you like what we did tonight, please consider supporting us on Patreon. It was through the amazing support and of our Patreon supporters that we were able to get all this up and rolling. Basically, we came into this scenario, we were facing this down, and we basically were able to get Kelly the gear that he needed to even do this, thanks to our patron supporters. So a massive thank you to our patrons, because were it not for that support, this wouldn't have even been possible whatsoever. Because Kelly didn't have a webcam, Kelly didn't have a microphone, anything. So we were able to get that all for him thanks to our patron supporters. So our supporters really do make this stuff possible and help us really improve our work and make it creating all this content so much more possible. So please continue consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes. We have a phenomenal Discord community available exclusively for our patrons. So if you do get on Patreon with us, you can chat with us on our behind the scenes chat, talk with Kelly about character builds, or just hang out with cool people in the midst of the end of the world. So please check all that out at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
And also, Monty and I are going to continue to post every Thursday on our YouTube channel. We have our regular Thursday videos that we're going to be releasing, and we still have a few of those. We're figuring out how it's going to work with our new setup. You might see a few videos that are Monty and I in separate locations coming up, but we do have a few that we still can release. So check that out on Thursday. Everything covering Dungeons and Dragons, including advice for dungeon masters and guides for players. You'll also find prior episodes from, not this campaign, but our other two campaigns there as well for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, and of course as well, some other cool fun stuff. We might be popping on stream again later this week, because I got a fancy box of new miniatures from WizKids.
Woo!
So I might pop up later on and open up some of those later on this week. If you're on the stream, we might think about some other cool things that we can do on the stream. So thank you all so much for all that. We might really see how far we can take this. This has been a really cool experience for us. So as always, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time back in Drakkenheim. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.